I have a lot of gratitude right now, and I just got to say thank you, God, for giving me signs that this DTI brand that I'm building has something powerful behind it, that the vision that Dylan and I have and the things that we're working towards are resonating with people, and they're figuring out how DTI, or they found a way how DTI fits in their life. I'm sitting here driving to Georgia right now to have a weekend with one of my really good friends, and I get to see him and some of our other boys, and I made a few phone calls on this trip just to check in to see how people are doing. And so I wanted to do a daily drive-by about this, but instead I turned on our podcast, and what I like to call I'm watching film, listening to me, Tommy T, and Dylan. Not only that, but taking notes on how I can get better, how I can talk better, how I can communicate better, how this setup can look better, all of those things. I am starting to realize that if I don't look at the work that I'm putting out after I put it out, how do I know how I can improve? I watch other people's podcasts, it makes me spark ideas. I watch other people's movements and brands, and it sparks ideas on what I want to implement into DTI, or how we can tailor things differently or do them differently. And so I'm watching film, and I made a few phone calls before that to check in on people, see how people are doing. That means something to me that I might not keep in contact with every single day, every single week, or every month. But that's a part of life, and I talk to them about it, and they're like, that's a part of growing up. You know, everybody gets a new job, they move away, or they start a family, and everybody's lives move on. They're like, life is moving faster and faster every single day, and I couldn't agree more with that. And so through those good conversations, I wanted to film a daily drive-by and just talk about how important it is that we don't get caught up in, oh, life's just too fast, but when I see you, make an effort to reach out to the people that you truly care about and that you truly want to check in to see how they're doing, because I don't think people do it enough. I don't think people pull out that phone, send that text message, hey, thinking of you, hope life's good. Pull out that phone, give them a call, hey, what's going on with life, man? Long time no talk. And so looking at those couple conversations that I had brought a lot of joy and smile to my face. Talked with each person for longer than a half hour and just had that genuine connection. We had laughs, we had stories, we had updates. And so if you've been thinking about calling somebody, about checking in on somebody, do it. And it's wild that, you know, life comes full circle. Somebody called me, check in on my drive, and it was one of the ladies that means the most to me in my life, and that was my mother. You guys hear me talk on the podcast how mom doesn't reach out because she doesn't know if I'm busy, and she doesn't want to interrupt me, and this and that. And so I give her shit, saying that if it wasn't for me, we would never talk on the phone because you never call me. And she uses those excuses, and I'm like, yeah, but if I can't answer, I'll call you back. You know that. I know, but, and I said, no more buts, call me. She followed through today, and I don't think she knows, one, how much that meant to me. But she told me a story that brought an extremely big smile to my face, and I think that this solidifies my daily drive-by today about reaching out to those people that you care and love and want to talk to and want to check in on, but just don't see them on a regular or consistent basis, so it's hard and life gets in the way and this and that, and then finally you guys run into each other and it's like, oh, I've been wanting to reach out to you for months, how you been? Stepping back and making that call, making that text, talking to mom, and she's telling me how she was out for breakfast this morning and saw somebody go by, and she told Ed, I think I know him. I was like, oh yeah, how do you think you know him, or where is he from? She's like, I think that was our neighbor when I lived on X Street back in the day, this and that. He was our neighbor growing up. And Ed was like, well, go say hi to him. Mom's like, no, I don't know if that's him or not. And Ed told her, you're going to regret it if you don't do it. She's like, all right. So she went up, and Charlie, is that you? Lori, how the hell are you doing? Give a big smile, give each other a hug, and they're talking. And Mom told me fascinating stories about Charlie that I won't get into, but Charlie is in a wheelchair and has been for a very long time. got injured in his 20s, late 20s, early 30s, and has been in a wheelchair ever since. And she told me about another accident that happened, and she told me about some other things that have happened to him that he informed her in her life, or in his life, he was informing my mom about. Oh my gosh, Charlie. And he's like, oh, don't feel bad for me. It could have been worse. Only this happened. Oh, Lori, don't feel bad for me. Oh, it could have been worse. She's like, Charlie, you have such a great outlook on life. Like, that's a lot of stuff to go through. Yeah, but again, it could have been worse, Lori. I mean, I'm thankful that only this happened. My mom's like, Freddie, she's like, it was so powerful. It was so moving. She's like, we sit here all the time and we complain about this and that in life and blah, blah, blah. Like, his attitude and outlook on life is just phenomenal. And she was like, I just want to, like, sit there and talk to him more than just, like, hear a story and catch up and this and that. And she was like, I gotta let you know, like, thank you. I was like, what are you thanking me for? She goes, I gotta say thank you. She's like, I don't know how to say it other than it was a DTI moment for me. I was like, it was a DTI moment for you? She's like, yeah. She's like, you know, when something good happens in life, when something level sets me, when something makes me think, like, man, you know, life really isn't that bad, or it makes me realize, like, everything's gonna be okay. She's like, I don't know how to explain it other than it's my DTI moment. She's like, the message that you and Dylan are spreading, the things that you and Dylan are doing, resembles these moments in life that we need to cherish, that we need to hold on to, that we need to show gratitude for. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, I'm kind of getting choked up without trying to show her. I got goosebumps. And she's like, I'm serious. She's like, the message that you guys are spreading, the things you're doing, the stuff you're saying to focus on in life, she's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just want you to know that whenever I have these moments, they're my DTI moments. And she said, I just want to let you know that I'm extremely happy, I'm extremely proud of you, and I love you. And I love your sister. Stuff like that, those phone calls, hearing that, you know, this thing that I'm building and growing, and this thing that I want to be a world-known brand, is resonating with people and giving them a sense of passion, a sense of hope, a sense of gratitude, a sense of thankfulness, and they're implementing in their life kind of how I implement the things in mine, means a lot. And I wanted to capture this moment because I don't ever want to forget it. I don't ever want to look at myself and look at Dylan and say, no, this isn't going to work, man. Like, we're building something that's not going to get somewhere, because we are. I know that as long as we don't stop, this thing will continue to grow, and this thing will prosper and bloom into the beautiful thing that we have envisioned. It's not about the money, it's not about the cars, it's not about the fame, it's not about any of that. It's about making an impact and being able to use the things that come with this platform to go and impact more and more people, to show people that there's more to life, that life may be moving in fast motion, but if you continue to persevere, if you continue to push, if you continue to look at the little things, the big things will come. It'll help people realize that no matter what you go through in life, you can continue to push forward and to grow and to expand and to conquer the things that you want to realize that all the hard things that we go through are only motivation to get us to the next part of life. That when we get down, we can get back up even higher than we were. How do we continue to elevate that? So that way we don't get down to that lowest point we've ever been at. That we might get down again, but it won't ever be as bad as that one time it was the worst. And so DTI, Desire to Inspire, right now, is going to have that global impact, is going to have that message that impacts one person a day, who then can tell that story, who can tell their story because they're like, no, this is my DTI moment. I need to share this. I need to do this. I don't have to do this, but I want to do this. That's what life's about. Not needing, not having to, not wanting to, but because you can. Because you didn't before and you regretted it. You wish you would have done it years ago and you didn't. But today you can. Right now you can start. Right now you can have that DTI moment of grounding yourself. Start appreciating the little things and using those little things to paint the picture of the big things that you want in life. No matter what you go through, no matter what God put you through, no matter what you've been through already, you can go and get over it. You can go and get through it. You can go and over achieve it. You can go, whatever the fuck the word is, you can do it because you have that DTI mentality. You have that DTI vision. You have that DTI dream. And everybody's DTI dream, vision, goal, mentality is different. But what is the same is the people that are in the inspired, the community, like-minded individuals that don't want that quick, instant change, that don't want that quick, instant gratification because they want something that'll last a lifetime. They want something that they work for day in and day out so that way they don't lose the motivation, they don't lose the courage, because it's going to continue over the months, years, and decades of their life. Because we're not taking life and completely revamping it into something else. We're taking life for what it is. We're thanking God for what we've been through, what we're going to go through, and what has happened. And we're taking those moments, we're taking those stories, we're taking those hurdles, we're taking those potholes, we're taking those mountains one at a time to get over them, to get through them, to get under them, and to keep on keeping on. Because this life that we have isn't long. This life that we have isn't promised. This life that we have isn't guaranteed. This life that we have is not to be taken for granted. But this moment right now, this moment right here is what we care about. Because we have the opportunity to correct what was once incorrect, to overcome what we once couldn't, to see through what we once couldn't. So take this time, reflect on your life, reflect on the things that you've been through, reflect on the things that you're going to go through, but stay present in this day and age, this time, this moment, right now. How can you change that mentality a little bit? How can you be that 1% better? What can you start focusing on right now that'll ultimately start painting the picture of those big dreams and plans and goals that you have? And be thankful for all of the stuff that you've been through, because you've learned that you don't want to go through it again. But what you need to learn right now is that holding on to it, is that keeping a grudge, is that keeping angst, keeping anger, is keeping you in that place that you don't want to be in. It's keeping you in that place that's questioning, why this, why me, why? But as soon as you own it, as soon as you start talking about it, as soon as you take it and say, you know what, this isn't going to define me no more. This isn't going to define who I'm going to be. This doesn't define who I was. This isn't a life sentence. So it's just a quick learning blurb, quick learning moment in this long life that I have. I don't care if you're 28 years old or 68 years old or even 88 years old. If you're listening to this, you still have the opportunity to change that mindset, to change that vision, and to change those goals to align with what you actually want in life. To make that difference and that change that you want in this world. To not be who you don't want to be. But again, none of that is going to happen if you keep holding on to what was once done, what was once said. Because if you hold on to those with anger, with blame, with a stigma, with anything, that energy is going to stay around you. Those things are going to stay around you. Forgive and forget. Take notes and overcome. Evaluate and achieve whatever it is. Because again, and remember, you don't want to get back to the lowest you've ever been. You don't want to go through the worst moments that you've ever been. You don't want to go back through a conflict situation. You don't want to go through any of that. Realize that all of those things are lessons and little gold nuggets where this world is trying to show you that if you overcome those and you let those go and you learn from them and grow, you will achieve said next thing in your life that you want to or that you're meant to. Most people think that failure is this thing that you can't overcome, and people have judged me and people have seen me fail, and I've tried and I've given it my all, but it never works out because God, the world's against me, God's against me. Nobody's against you except for yourself. And the reason you're against yourself is because you don't believe in here, up here, or take care of this to be able to move forward, to be able to move past it. Failure is the key to success. Hard times are the keys to success. When you start realizing that and you start seeing it, your life will improve, your life will get better, and you'll be a lot more happier. So from this day forward, stop being so selfish and saying, why me, why this, why? Pick up that phone and make that phone call to somebody. Find that DTI moment and find that passion and just start painting those little strokes. You have what it takes. You just have to believe it first in order for it to come true. So from this day forward, pay it forward. Don't expect anything in return. Do not expect anything in return. Just keep those little things, those little habits going, and life will start changing. You got what it takes. Who was it that said it? If you are what you say you are, a superstar that have no fear. Life is good, baby. That's all I gotta say. It's your daily drive-by, your boy. It's on.